Hi guys, it's Jack
And Roma
from No Notions Travel. Welcome back to the Travel Reel, the video series where we show you where some of your favourite movies are shot and how exactly to visit these iconic locations.
Today we are talking about the 1965 musical, The Sound of Music. The Sound of Music is one of the classics when it comes to Hollywood musicals.
Set in Salzburg, Austria in 1938, the story follows Maria as she takes over child-minding duties for the Von Trapp family.
As she builds a relationship with the family, Austria is taken over by the Nazis, and the Von Trapps hatch a plan to escape their occupation.
The Sound of Music was adapted from the stage musical of the same name and based off the real-world memoirs of Maria Von Trapp, called The Story of the Von Trapp Family Singers.
The film was the highest grossing film of 1965 and won 5 Academy Awards and 2 Golden Globes. It was added to the Library of Congress for Film Preservation, an accolade for any film seen as being historically and culturally significant and important.
We're just putting this out here now that this is a spoiler alert and also a trigger warning if you don't like Nazis.
So for a 1965 film, you've probably seen it already, but if you haven't, I'd say check it out. And if you would like to see the lovely place where it's shot, well then come back to the video and we'll tell you just where to see them. Right now!
So The Sound of Music is set in Austria in 1938 and follows Maria, a young Austrian woman studying to become a nun.
The Mother Abbess sends Maria to the villa of retired naval officer Captain George von Trapp to be the governess to his 7 children.
Lisa, Friedrich, Luisa, Kurt, Brigitte, Martha.
And Gretel.
The captain has been raising his children alone using strict military discipline following the death of his wife. Although the children misbehave at first, Maria responds with kindness and patience, and soon the children come to trust and respect her.
While the captain is away in Vienna, Maria makes play clothes for the children from drapes which are to be changed. She takes them around Salzburg and the surrounding mountains and teaches them how to sing.
Go!
A deer, a female deer,
Ray!
a drop of golden sun.
Displeased by his children's clothes and activities and Maria's impassioned appeal that he get closer to his children, the captain orders her to return to the abbey.
Just then, he hears singing coming from inside the house and is astonished to see his children singing for the Baroness.
Like the wings of the birds that rise from the lake.
Filled with emotion, the captain joins his children, singing for the first time in years. He apologizes to Maria and asks her to stay.
Impressed by the children singing, Max proposes he enter them in the upcoming Salzburg festival, but the suggestion is immediately rejected by the captain as he does not allow his children to sing in public.
Though the film is virtually unknown in Austria, due to the international popularity, you can visit places where filming took place with a special tour. Furthermore, in many hotels in Salzburg, this movie is played non-stop on television for tourists.
While many of the interiors of locations were built on sound stages in Hollywood, the majority of the exteriors were all filmed on location in Salzburg. Here are some of the key places in Salzburg that any Sound of Music fan should go visit.
So first of all, we have Fromberg Palace. The front of the house acted as the house of the Von Trapp family. It's actually now the Mozarteum Music Academy, which used to have the massive gates which Maria approaches before she meets the Von Trapps.
We then have the Schloss Leopoldskron. This massive building acted as the back of the Von Trapp mansion. The building is now a hotel with huge Venetian-style rooms which were recreated for the film on a Hollywood soundstage.
Next up is the Villa Trapp, which is actually the real-life house of the Von Trapps in Egen, a suburb in the southeast of the old town of Salzburg. The Villa Trapp has been an active hotel since 2008 and includes an educational sound music museum.
There is then the Summer Riding School. The Felseinradschule, or the Rock Riding School, was the location where the festival takes place and where we see the Von Trapps make their escape. It is a 1400-seat theatre built in the wall of a quarry built in 1693. It was originally built as a cathedral but was repurposed for a riding school for the Archbishop and was one of the real-life locations for the Salzburg Festival.
Next up we have Nonnberg Abbey. This is the convent that we see at the start of the film and during the escape scene. The abbey itself is significant to the real Von Trapp story as well as the film, as the real-life Maria went there after graduating college and was married here to Baron Von Trapp in 1927. The opening scene and the song Maria and the escape scene were all shot on the grounds of the abbey.
So, one of the most iconic songs from the movie is the Do Re Mi song, which taught most of us scales. This was filmed in the Mirabelle Palace and Mirabelle Garden, and this is where Maria and all the children dance on the grounds.
Next up is the Salzburg residence. We see this during the I Have Confidence song, showing its beautiful fountain and surrounding grounds.
And lastly, we have Mount Untersberg. This is where we see Maria sing The Sound of Music, and fans can easily visit the mountain and see the top via a cable car. For the more adventurous, the mountain takes about a 2-hour hike to reach the top. Both modes of transport offer an incredible view looking over the surrounding area.
So next up we have the fan tours / official tours. And for this episode we actually have a pretty significant tour for this film.
Yep.
You knew about it.
I actually knew about it beforehand because I always said if I went to Salzburg that I'd do it.
So we actually have the original Sound of Music tour, which is an official tour of the area of Salzburg.
It's a 4-hour English-speaking tour of Salzburg showing you around the locations from the film. The tour takes you by bus to 6 of the main locations from the film, talking about the history in the buildings and landmarks in Salzburg. It features the soundtrack of the film, and a live guide will tell you everything you need to know about the locations, the Von Trapp family, and anything else that may be of interest to you.
The tour costs around €50, and it seems like the perfect fit for any fans of the musical or anyone who actually wants to see it around the Salzburg area. I think I'd go on
Oh,
that.
I'd say it's fucking amazing.
It's great.
Yeah.
That's probably the best little conference you could probably give.
Yeah.
50 quid?
Yeah.
4-hour trip?
Yeah.
Music?
Can't be better.
Austria?
Yeah.
Yep. Roma!
Yep.
Trivia
Oh.
section
Yep.
is now. So, Julie Andrews had to learn how to play the guitar, especially for this movie.
The real Maria von Trapp claimed that this movie toned down her behaviour during her stay at Nürnberg Abbey. When asked in an interview if she was really that bad, she joked, "I was worse."
Very little information was known about the real Captain Von Trapp, and for Christopher Plummer to betray him, he had to find out some more information. So with that, he took to the Salzburg mountains with an interpreter. There they met George's nephew and asked him what the real man was like. The nephew told them that he was the most boring man he had ever met.
According to the British tabloid The Sun, the movie was selected by BBC executives as one to be broadcast after a nuclear strike, to improve the morale of survivors. The BBC did not confirm or deny the story, saying, "This is a security issue, so we cannot comment." What the fuck?
Really random, isn't it?
Jesus Christ. First thing you want to see after a nuclear strike is Nazis. What?
So, many people auditioned for the role of the Von Trapp children, and many of these actors turned out to be pretty significant.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them include one Kurt Russell, Richard Dreyfuss, Veronica Cartwright, Mia Farrow, Fred Astaire, and Sharon Tate, to name a few.
The song 16 Going on 17 was one of the last scenes to be shot. On the first take, Liesl slipped while leaping across a bench and fell through a pane of glass. She wasn't badly hurt, but her ankle was. The scene was later shot with her leg wrapped and makeup covering the bandages.
When the movie was released in South Korea, it did so much business that some theatres were showing it 4 to 5 times a day. One theatre owner in Seoul tried to figure out a way to be able to show it even more often in order to bring in more customers. So, he decided to cut out all the musical numbers so that he could have more cuts of the film be shown throughout the day.
What's the point then? Oh, Jesus.
People just wanted to see it. So, next up we have what I have called the Christopher Plummer cringe compilation.
R.I.P. Rest in peace,
Rest
man.
in peace. We're sorry that we're kind of
Rest in peace, man.
talking shit on you.
You would have loved the new Mary Poppins.
But unfortunately, he was kind of a douche on set, apparently.
Yep.
So him being a nuisance was before, during, and after the filming of the movie. So we're just going down the list of different things.
Sure. I'm pretty sure that he's the old guy in Up. Not the nice old guy.
The bad old
The
man
shitty old guy.
with all the dogs.
Yeah.
Oh, right, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So first up, he hated the movie, hated working on it,
Yep.
and in interviews and just talking casually on set, he would call it either S&M or The Sound of Mucus.
He really hated this movie.
I think it's actually that second one is great.
He referred to Julie Andrews as Miss Disney on set to other cast and crew members and compared working with her like being hit over the head with a Valentine's Day card every day. They did later become friends, but he absolutely hated her while he was working.
That was the thing, he actually did soften up over time, and there's like opinion of the movie like...
Yeah, like George Von Trapp.
Yep. Plummer also admitted that he drank and ate heavily throughout the filming process to make it through the production. Being shot in Austria, he had lots of chances to do so, and his costume had to be refit a couple of times. And he also admitted to being drunk specifically in the audio commentary of the film at the musical festival sequence where they escape. He was belligerent.
I love that. That was his only way of getting through it, was just drink heavily, like. He learned to play the guitar for the role, but like his vocals, they were redubbed later on. So this is us telling you as well that his vocals are redubbed. He hated it so much that he didn't even sing.
And lastly, on the Christopher Plummer hate train, he hated the song Edelweiss, considered it too schmaltzy.
I love the song.
Edelweiss.
Yeah.
It's a good song.
Oh my God.
And he even went as far as writing a letter to the screenwriter to have it removed from the film. And he was denied, and it was kept in.
It's the best song of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
It is the best song of the movie. Can you imagine that movie without that song?
I've had a kind of bad reputation because I do get angry at rehearsals. I don't mean it personally. I do try and suggest things, perhaps sometimes that it isn't my job to suggest.
I know he's dead, but like, I don't feel too great about Christopher Plummer. Rest in peace, man.
So we have obviously the Christopher Plummer cringe compilation, but on top of that we also have bonus trivia.
That I do know because I know more about this movie than
Well, do
Jack
you
does.
want to take the bonus trivia? Do you
Yeah,
want?
but you wrote the script.
But I'll pass the baton.
Okay, pass the baton.
Baton?
No French accent.
Pass.
So, the stage musical and the subsequent film was based on the memoirs of the real-life Maria von Trapp. So, it is actually a real story. The memoir was used to promote the von Trapp family singers after the death of Maria's husband, George.
Spoiler.
Yes.
Real life spoiler.
Real life spoiler. A lot of the events of the film are loosely based around the real life events of the von Trapp family.
Yes.
Maria was in fact going to be a nun, but was kicked out due to unruly behaviour. She did take care of the von Trapp children and married their father. The real-life Maria admitted to marrying George von Trapp to stay in the children's lives and initially liking George, and then slowly fell in love with him.
Oh, that's cute.
It is cute.
Apparently he was actually like less stern in real life as well.
Yeah. So the performance and subsequent escape actually happened. While they hiked over the Alps to Switzerland in the movie, in reality, they walked to the local train station and boarded the next train to Italy. From Italy, they fled to London and ultimately to the US.
They're not nearly as gripping as the movie.
No, I
Or
mean, I
magical.
was hoping that they did have to hike the Alps.
Well,
all 9 of them.
as a matter of fact, if they had have done that, Roma, Salzburg is actually a few miles from the Austrian-German border and is much too far from either the Swiss or the Italian border for a family to escape by walking. So if they had have crossed the border via the Alps, they would have ended up in Germany near Adolf Hitler's mansion, like his mansion retreat. Mansion retreat.
I know this movie is from 1965,
Yeah.
right? And I know that, they didn't have Google. And I know it was for dramatic purposes, but could we not have seen them getting on the train? Like, it would have made actual sense.
So I think that's all we have time for today for The Sound of Music.
So don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell button to make sure you see when we upload the travel reel videos and more videos on affordable holidaying.
If The Sound of Music or any other movies made you want to visit another country, tell us in the comments below.
Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you on the next episode of the travel reel.
Bye.
Bye!
Bye.
So long. Farewell.
Avita,
Say goodbye. I hate to go. And then, I don't know,
The sun has gone
to bed and so must I. Goodbye, goodbye. I can't remember the rest of it. It's been a while.